Hi. So it's Friday. It's a little after 10:30. I apologize. But I wanted to do our Reiki share today. I missed it last week because the Reiki share didn't come out until Tuesday, and it didn't really feel right to do two in the same week. For this week, I was thinking that it would make the most sense to focus on grounding, just because I don't know about you, but I feel like I have my hands in a few too many uh, baskets. I don't know what the cliche for that is, but I have a lot going on. And I keep forgetting what day it is. And, I'm working in two different cities, and I have teaching at like six different places and a little ungrounded. Hi, everyone. So before we get started with our Reiki share for grounding, I'd like to pick a card for us from the Sacred Rebels deck. And these sorts of practices, like picking oracle cards or drumming with the buffalo drum, a vegan buffalo drum, if you can get one, they are incredible for grounding. So it's just having a way to tap in to kind of have a base, something that you can come to on a regular basis. Especially if you're more of a nomadic creature at the time. I know for me, I'm calling two cities home, and I have plans to travel and all this stuff. So setting up lots of routines for myself that I don't necessarily need a home base to feel grounded, letting myself be my home base. Other ways to help you ground are to have a meditation practice, something simple and not too showy that you can do anywhere. So things like transcendental meditation can be incredibly helpful because it's just something that you do for 20 minutes twice a day. But of course, my favorite thing is Reiki, and I guess Reiki and yoga, because you can do them anywhere. So we're going to work with Reiki for grounding today because I'm kind of a Reiki lady. And after this, I'm going to do some yoga to help myself ground as well. The card that I picked is Every Journey Starts with a Single Step, and she has a suitcase, and it's the number 12. And you can see that, there's energy coming from her heart and her third eye. So it's about having some faith, but just focusing on the step in front of you, which is actually a really good message for me right now. And I hope that it's a good one for you. But the idea is we might not know where all of the beautiful things that we're working on are going. We might have no idea. But what we can do is be as present as possible with where we're at in this moment. And if we're present in the moment, then we are grounded, right? And a lot of people have an illusion of knowing where their plans are leading them to. Or maybe they have a life that is in a pattern, right? So every day kind of seems the same and it's reliable, but suddenly everything gets shaken up. Maybe you lose your job or someone passes away or whatever. So nothing is actually ever reliable, that's an illusion. Some of us really have no idea what the next day is leading to, and that can be really fun, or it can be completely earth-shattering and scary. But I think this is really a message of having faith and just dealing with the step in front of you rather than looking too far ahead. Also, taking steps toward your goals. So if there are things that you feel like might not be achievable right now, who cares? Just do what you can do to lead you in that direction. For me, I really want to work with people online. So I started making these little videos, and I don't know where it's going to lead, but it makes me happy and it makes me feel like I'm working towards my goal. So here we go. All right, so let's tap in with Reiki. So you can bring your hands to your heart space, thumbs right against your chest bone. Let your eyes close. And just feel into your energy, feel into your physical body. And we get all airy-fairy about the word energy. Everything is energy. We don't need to get too silly about it, but just feel into your physical body. Feel into your breath. hear the sounds around you, connecting to the taste in your mouth, maybe the feeling of your skin. Noticing if there are any areas in the body that need a little love, that are in pain, that are calling to your mind, your attention. And seeing if you can just be aware of all that you are in some capacity. Your physical self, your mental self, your emotional self, your past self, your future self, your present self, your higher self, your ego self. Good. And then I want you to imagine the energy of all that is, of the universe, everything. The highest energy, a very neutral, pure energy that doesn't sway in one direction or the other. It's just pure. And give that energy a light, a color, something that you can actually visualize. Maybe a sparkly emerald green or a white. And I'd like you to imagine that beautiful light that represents that pure energy coming down from above into the center of your chest, into the center of your forehead, and into the crown of your head. And as you breathe in, let that come in really, really bright into those three centers. Then hold your breath and imagine that light, that energy spreading throughout your whole body. And as you exhale, let it come onto your fingertips, into the room, out in all directions from your aura. And work with that visual a few more times. This pure, very neutral light that's in everything, coming down in your favorite color, sparkly, beautiful, through the heart, the third eye, and the crown of your head. Hold the breath and let it spread throughout your whole body. And exhale it onto your fingertips, into the room, in all directions. One more time, breathing in deeply. Hold. And exhaling. Good, and then we're going to lift our gasho hands, our prayer hands, to the forehead. And I'd like you to just ask your guides, your well ancestors, your Reiki masters, your ascended ones, whoever you call upon, higher energy from all corners of the universe, to assist you in grounding today, in connecting with the earth, and connecting with our community, and connecting with your immediate environment, and connecting and however you need to, just calling that in. And may we, through our practice and through our day, receive the intuitive guidance necessary to receive this empowerment, this healing, this groundedness. Good. And then bringing your hands back to the heart, you can just bow for a moment, just acknowledging that you just asked for help. Good. Then we're going to rub our palms together. And normally when we're giving ourselves Reiki, we actually start at the head and we move down. And when I feel like I really need grounding, I actually start at my feet because I want to get right to the point. So just rubbing your hands together, build some heat. You can separate the hands so you can feel some energy there. That heat is energy. It's not a hyper spiritual thing. It's just what it is. Then place your hands onto your feet. And I want you to actually push down so your feet can feel the weight of your hands. And right now my feet are open with the soles facing up. But if you can't sit comfortably like that, just wherever you can make contact with your feet. And you can close your eyes and just imagine that energy that we called on, however you visualize that light entering into the feet. Maybe spiraling. If you know any of the Reiki symbols, you might imagine them on the feet. Maybe hearing the mantras in your mind. If you don't have any of the Reiki symbols, you can just be thinking the word Reiki, which is just Japanese for universal life force energy. Reiki is a wonderful mantra. Continuing to work with that, just breathing there. Good. We're going to rub our palms together again. And this time, you're going to place one hand on top of your foot and one hand underneath. So you're like holding the foot. And again, just imagining that light, feeling the heat of the energy, feeling your weight, just grounding here. And what I've found is often people who are ungrounded are a little unsure if they really want to be here. And that can be a really intense feeling, right? Like, why do I have to do this life thing? It's kind of exhausting. What gives? You know, dream world can be so much easier. Being in the astral plane, being pure consciousness. But trusting that if we're here right now, there's a reason for it. Good, and then we'll switch over to the other foot, placing one hand underneath, one hand on top, and letting your weight come down. A mantra that I work with when I'm having those feelings, because, you know, it happens, especially when you're a little bit more spiritual and people kind of think you're disconnected from reality and roll their eyes at you or whatever it is. But a mantra that I love to work with, or an affirmation, is I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Otherwise, I would not be here. And whenever I think of this mantra, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. Otherwise, I would not be here. It just brings a lot more ease to the situation. It allows me to not feel like a victim. It allows me to feel like everything's happening exactly as it should. And I just trust in the moment that I'm in without fighting it. I actually received this mantra from a book I found of my grandmother's. So we're going to rub our hands again, and then you can take your hands onto your ankles. And so this is just connecting your feet with the rest of the body. Just being really, really kind. So our feet, our legs, our hips, and the bottom of our seat, it's our root chakra. And our root chakra connects us to the earth. It connects us to our family, and it connects us to our ancestors. It's our survival instincts. And often people who have a weak root chakra either travel a lot or they didn't have the very best childhood. So it doesn't have to be the case, but a lot of times that is. And so you don't even need to know why, but just working on your root chakra on a regular basis can actually heal things from your past that you have no idea how to heal. You don't even need to worry about it. Just trusting, doing things to work on your root chakra will help. All right, now we're going to take our hands up to our shins. So again, rub your palms and place your hands on your shin bone. Just kindly, a little weighted. So, and you might even push down a little bit. And so it's just saying, you know, all right, we're rooting you in. And a visualization that you can use here is putting a seed into a flower pot and then packing the soil on top of it. Not too hard, right? But just enough that the wind won't take it away, and hopefully no birds will get it. And just breathing and placing weight on the shins. And then we'll move up to the knees. And just placing your hands very sweetly, kindly onto the knees. I usually just work on both legs at the same time, but if you'd prefer to just work on one, you can take one hand on the top of your knee and one hand underneath the knee. Knees are actually, if you're a Capricorn, this can be a pretty problematic area of the body, and it's because you're so rooted and you care so much about the earthly the earthly world. So sometimes the universe will create problems with the knees so that you realize that there's more to life than what you can see and touch, than the material world. So just placing some energy onto the knees. And just being grateful for your knees, whether they're good knees or bad knees. I have knock knees, but just being really grateful. They make walking possible. And if you are unable to walk, just being grateful for what you have, whatever you have that's keeping you here on the planet. Because as we've established, if you're here, you're meant to be here. There's a purpose. Just feeling into that, trusting that. And then we're going to move up to the thighs, so you can rub your palms again. And this is quite nice. So just, you can cross your legs or sit in a chair, but you're just going to push your hands down onto the thighs. And again, you're just weighting yourself down, allowing yourself to feel the weight to help you ground, to help you feel a sense of belonging, a sense of ease, a sense of calm. Allowing yourself to get present, to receive nourishment from this moment. Good. And then again, we're going to move up to the hips. So you'll rub your palms together. Place your hands onto your outer hips, and you're just going to push down just a little bit, not too much weight. We don't want to bruise anything. Just pushing down, feeling the weight of your hands, and the energy is just down. And it's like packing in that soil, protecting the little seedling so it can grow. And as I do this, I'm still imagining that beautiful light that we visualize, that neutral light from the universe that creates everything, that's within everything and every non-thing, and flowing through my hands into this area of the body. Just allows it to be a multi-dimensional experience. You feel your physical touch, you have this visual, and it can make a warm, fuzzy feeling inside. Good. And then we're going to rub our hands again and take your hands to your lower back. So right by the tailbone, we call this your sacrum. There's this little plate in the pelvis. You're going to place your hands there. And oftentimes we won't feel Reiki most parts of the body, but for whatever reason, we're more open to it in this area because we all need a little bit of support. This is also where a lot of us experience our first Kundalini awakening, our first prana awakening, and a lot of us feel blocks because we're working too hard in the material world. So people hurt their backs and things like that, and it's because they are creating a circumstance to call in spirit. And we're never blaming anyone for the misfortunes that happen in their life, but we just trust that they are happening for the person and not against them. Okay, and then we'll again rub the palms. This time take your hands to your lower belly. And before the energy was rooting down, now we're in a neutral energy. So we're moving up and down. So you can just place your hands gently, and we're not pushing down or up. We're just right in the middle. And if we're going back to our seed analogy, we would be imagining the seed starting to take form into a plant. And as that happens, the seed grows roots into the earth, and then it also moves up toward the sky. And that's how the energy, our spiritual energy, flows in the body as well, if it's balanced. And then we'll move our hands up to the center of the belly, the solar plexus. Again, neutral, moving in both directions. Good. And you might place one hand on the front of your body, your solar plexus, and one hand on the back. If you have the flexibility to do that. Then we'll move up to the heart, and Imagining now if it were a flower, you would start to move into that green underbelly of the flower that makes room for the petals, and that's where the heart is. Still, the energy is rooting down into the earth as it starts to grow upward toward the sun, toward the light. And then you can rub your hands one more time, and we will take the hands across the chest and just place one hand on each shoulder. And this definitely feels more like a rooting sensation, so you are grounding a little bit. Just allowing yourself to feel comforted here. Good. And then again, rub, and we'll place one hand on the front of the throat, one hand on the back of the throat, moving up into the expression, right? So as the plant roots down into the earth, it grows up, it starts to move out and show its flowers, its leaves, its beauty. And that happens through the heart, or through the throat chakra. It's inspired by that underbelly of the plant that makes it nice and strong, the flower. And then this is where the petals begin, the center of the flower, where the nectar lives. Good. Then we'll move to the eyes so that we can see all those blessings that will help us feel more grounded, a stronger sense of belonging, safety, security. Over the ears so that you can understand the information that's being given to you synchronistically through your environment so that it can serve your highest good. And then we'll take our hands to wherever you like on the head. I like to go right along here and keep this part open. And just allowing that energy from the universe to continue to come down, the light from the sun for the flower, that nourishment, water, whatever we need, welcoming it in so that we can stay inspired, have faith, have trust, not be too stuck in the material world, but to be connected and grounded in it enough that we don't feel lost or confused. Good. And then from here, you can just bring your hands to the heart space again. And any questions, any guidance, anything that you need from the universe, from the earth, from your environment, just calling it in, asking for it, being honest with yourself and being honest with whatever you work with. And if you're purely scientific, you're probably not watching this, but you can also be asking your cognition, your subconscious mind, to guide you for the information that's going to bring more peace into your experience. There's so many ways. It's all language. Don't get stuck in the language. Don't get stuck in semantics. We understand what we're doing. We're calling on our subconscious mind, or whatever you want to call it, so that we can receive the wisdom, the blessings, the understanding as to how we can stay grounded, purposeful, and feel a sense of belonging in the moments that we're in. Groundedness. And then thanking all of your teachers, your guides, your life experiences that have led you to this moment of purity and openness. that have allowed you to be who you are. Thanking Reiki. Good. Namaste. All right. So this will be available if you tuned in a little bit later. It'll be available on the Insta Live if you want to view back later, and it'll also always be up on YouTube later as well. Tomorrow I am teaching a Reiki 1 class at Daya Yoga Studio in Bushwick. Reiki 1 will take place from 2 to 6 p.m. On Saturday and Sunday, so it's a 2-day class, so it would be wonderful if you joined me. And in general, I am very, very much grateful for the ability to be able to share in this way, that we live in a time where it's so easy to offer something from your heart. And if you are interested in working directly with me, we could always set something up for an online session. I do oracle readings and distance healing, and it's quite fun for me, and people have actually received quite a bit from it. So if you're interested, you can reach out to me for that. And on the first week of every month, I release the Zodiac Oracle Blessings on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, it's a way to do those sessions without necessarily needing to book a private one. All right, I'll see you in Brooklyn tomorrow, and I hope you have the best week ever, and I hope that Lions Gate portal, whatever, if you're paying attention to it, is serving you well. Happy August, and have a beautiful day. Namaste.